I reached our bottom, which means welcome. This is Netcode-Hub channel. Today's video is going to be an interesting lesson as well. Now in this lesson, we're going to talk about how to add bottom sheet. What actually is bottom sheet? Let's say I try to surf online to have some package that we can use for this bottom sheet. I got two. The first one is the DevExpress NuGet package. It has a nice bottom sheet for us. So you can see from here, when we talk about button sheet, that is what you see here, a modal that displays beneath of a phone. It could be iOS, it could be Android. So this is a bottom sheet. Now it is not only command that you can pass it on bottom sheet, you can also pass in images, icons, and also you can pass in normal information to user as well. I try to do this, but here you need to buy, you need to purchase this. It is not for free. We had another alternative, and that is the 49 MAUI bottom sheet. And these are the contributors, our own Gerard. So we have this, and we're going to talk about how to implement this in our application using view model. So let's create our project. I've done that already. And we have some package that we need to install, and that is this package. And also we need to install community toolkit.mvvm. When you go to the project created, and now when you come to the packages, you have going to install. The first one is the 49.maui.bottom sheet. So install this, and now the next one I have to install is a community toolkit.mvvm. So install these packages, and you're good to go. So let's assume you are done installing the package. Let's close this, and we're going to create a new page, and we're going to use that for the display. So in here, Solution Explorer, I'm going to right click on the Solution Explorer, and I'm going to use it, put it right here. So right click on it, and now let's add a content page. So add new item. So we go for .NET, and I will choose content page here. You know, this sounds like a control that you're going to be using all the time. So I'm not sure it's content page, rather it is content view. So let's use content view, and now we can name this as my sheet. Whoa, so let's see my sheets. So that is this one. Let's add. So while we have this content view created, let's go to MauiProgram.cs, and we are going to add or register the package that we installed. And now here we're going to use .use, and that is, it is bottom sheet. So control period, and now let's use the 49 namespace. When we're done with this, let's go to the content view that we created. That's my sheet, and in here we are going to specify the namespace. So let's add the namespace here. So let's see schema.49.com.net. That is this. So we add this namespace. So let's go to the code behind file, and now let's inherit from a class of bottom sheet. So meaning we have configured our bottom sheet and we can use it anywhere. So example, let's try this first before you create our view model. Now you know we have our main page, code behind file. So in here, maybe let's try to do something here. So let's create constant, and we say maybe sheet, then equal to new, you know the name is my sheet. So constant. So let's change this to my sheet. Then now you can have access to sheet dot, then you can see we have show async. So let's run this application. Alright, so the application is ready. Now if I click on this button, see what happens. You can see that here I have this welcome to .NET MAUI, and you can see this side is a backdrop. The reason is you can set this as backdrop to true, and that's going to handle that. So if you set backdrop to true, this place is going to see that kind of going to dim small, and you're going to have this pop-up over here. So unless you drag this, like you see, it is off. If you click on it again, it pops up, and you can also drag this off. You can change this background. So let's set the background color to. So you can change the background color. So in case you want red, you can set it up over there. And let's refresh this and see. So I'll click on this, and I can see we have the background color of red. Now the next thing is, let's change this to the normal state, and maybe we can set this to the button color or gray. So let's see if this is going to be gray for us. Now let's refresh. Yeah, so there's the button that we have for now. That is for the gray. Aside from this, you can also specify some few properties here. The first that I want to talk about here is you can talk about the 48. And now in this, we can talk about the same bottom sheet. And here we can have dependent of what can have dent. So dent, it is a size. So the size that we want, so let's go for 48. And as you can see we have full screen dent, we have height dent, medium detect. So let's go for the full screen, and now this is going to give us the full screen. So let's click. So this, you must have a full screen. So you can see we have full screen. So you go back and it's off. So when you open this again, let's see, unless you drag this up, now it is off. So you can see, unless you drag it over here, then it will come down. The next thing that you want to talk about is you can also specify the height, maybe 1/2 of the screen. So instead of having this full dent, you can specify it in as height. So high dent, as you can see from here, or ratio dent. So if it is a high dent, you can have the height of maybe 100. Now you save this, and now let's refresh this. So when you click on this, you can see you have it over here. Okay, now when you check the documentation, there are a lot of things that you can actually talk about or read through. So I'll leave the documentation at the description, so you can just go in there and click on it and see. Okay, so now let's bind this to view model. So let's go to our Solution Explorer here. So we're going to stop this, and let's create demo. So I'm going to create a new class, and I'm going to say this is main page view model, and now let's inherit from observable objects. So public partial class. Let's create a method here. So this is void, and that is show. So with this show, I'll just pass relay command on top. Then you have my sheet equal to new my sheet. So you can grab this object, and now we say show. So you can see we have show async. So you can show async. So it is going to show. Now let's go and bind it. So let's go to the main page. Now with our code behind file, let's comment what we have. So let's comment everything here. And in the main page, so let's see, click on Solution Explorer. So we have created the view model, and now when we come to the main page, CS, you have to bind this view model here. So main page, view model, and let's bind the context. After that, let's register both in the program.cs. So MAUI program. Let's do the same change to the other one. Okay. So let's go to the main page, for example, and let's add a namespace. So, and we can specify the data type here. So view model, and we can have main page view model. So with this button, we're going to clear this name off. And now with this click, you can also clear this off. And we are going to add a command as, then we say binding. Then we can have show command. Click on this. Now let's save this and run. Alright, so let's click and see if you're going to pop up. Yeah, so you can see we have it as well. So now we are doing this from a view model. So we can do that. Now let's add some buttons in here. So let's go back to my sheet. And now with this background, I'm going to clear this off. And now let's go in and add some buttons here. So we can manually add a bar that we can just swipe up and down. So let's do that. So first of all, in here, that is in the bottom sheet, we're going to configure this as, so let's use grid. And now in grid, we can specify row definition. So you want to have star, star. Also, the first one, we want to, I have an images over here. So let's go to the image, and I have a minus symbol. So this image, I'm going to say width will be 100, and let's say height will be 10. Then let's set the minimum and the maximum. So let's set vertical options. We want to put this to the start and expand. And now horizontal, let's set this to center and expand. Let's save this and let's restart the application. So while restarting, we have to set here as backdrop. So as backdrop, we set this to true instead. So let's save. Now let's click on this button, and you can see we have this bar here that we can just swap it up and now down to hide this. We have the backdrop too as well. Now let's add some buttons in this. So here we are going to have a vertical stack layout. And now let's specify the grid row as one. Now in here, we're going to have maybe a button. Let's have horizontal stack here. And now the first one, we're going to have image. So when you check my Solution Explorer images folder, see I have these buttons here. These are the images. So the first, I'm going to drag in this share. So it's a share, and I'm going to set width to 50 and height to 40. And now the next line, I can just have a button. So, and you know, this button here, it is share. So I'll say test is equal to share. Then I'll have button width. I'll set it to 0. I'll set background of the button to also 0. So transparent. Now let's see. So we have everything. Let's save that. And we're going to have this. So let's specify spacing. So spacing is 20. Now let's do same to the rest. So we go back to this because we have share, we have paste, minus, and etc. Now let's grab them. So I'm going to copy like this, and I'm going to paste it. The next line, the next line, the last one. So when we check, I have copy. So here it is copy. And let me just change the name. And here it is paste. So let me change the name. And now let's see. So we have share and we have delete. So delete and change the name as well. All right, so let's save this. Let's refresh. So let's click on this button. Okay, so you can see we have the icons here, but let's increase this. So let's resize this and increase the width, or let's reduce the height of the image. So let's make it here as 30. So 30 will be okay for now. You can do it any how that you want it to do. So I'm going to copy this, paste it. And I'll do this to this as well. So after doing this, then maybe I can increase the size of this. You know, the height here is 100, so I can make it maybe 200. Save this, and now let's refresh. Okay, so now let's click on this button and let's see. Okay, so we have the icons, but we're not having the buttons to display. We have horizontal stack layout, and we have buttons also. The background is transparent, and you must have text color as black. So let's set the text color for each. And that will change. So let's save that. And now let's see. Okay, so let's now click the button, and I can see we have the buttons here. So these are just buttons that we've assigned as borderless, and also the weight is 0. And we set the background to transparent, and we have the text as black, as we did over here. Okay, so with this, we can now create buttons over here, and you can create methods in the view model and assign any of these too when you click on any of the buttons over here. Yeah, so that is a way to use this bottom sheet in Android. And I think I'm also use the same thing to iOS. So I'll link the documentation. I'll put the link in the description, so you can just go in there and you can talk about a lot. So it has a lot for you, and you can read more on that. Thank you so much. If you like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so. And take care of yourself, and I'm going to catch you up in the next video.